So I'm interested to hear Dan's opinion on Snot Girl.
Oh
here.
my god.
You mean booger bitch?
Perfect. Dan, that is perfect.
I am the love.
Man, she'd be.
I'm waiting to say that for hours.
Grown-up, human, comic, people! Grown-up, human, comic, people!
Yeah, hold your fucking horses, dude.
Good question.
All right. So, before you forget it, go ahead.
The question is, and I grabbed my phone out of the phone box, realizing I almost incurred a $5 penalty.
Right.
Because I was listening to a rap song that I enjoy very much. And he said that white girls give him that Becky. And I don't know what that Becky is.
Is it a boner?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
What is
Can
that
I?
name?
Dan, you're on the laptops.
I feel like it's a
Googling.
bad
Urban
bad-
Dictionary.
Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt. Becky with the good hair.
Right.
What is with my name?
I don't know.
Becky, maybe head, getting that Becky. White girls giving them head.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So many texts.
Yeah, I think Becky's a bad term for boners. It's not as.
I like my name
Man,
too.
girl, you give me Becky's all day.
Like if someone says Rebecca, I don't even turn around.
Well,
According to Plies,
Yeah.
giving head.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh, that's great.
Good, some good
Another
information.
name for getting head.
You're inferring.
Wait, so
shit
giving head to a
left and
male?
right.
The act
Or-
of fellatio, hot white girls, or snobbish women giving good head.
All right.
Wow.
An amazing girl who can be quite quiet, but likes to listen to other people. She doesn't realize
this
how
shit?
much she's worth and doubts herself. Oh my god.
No,
All right,
just
we
stop.
get it.
No,
It's
no.
Stop
head.
there.
It's
I'm
head.
done.
Who
head.
wrote that?
I don't know. It's head. So
So it's
anyway.
head.
Somebody
Yeah.
named Becky wrote
So
that.
if you kidnap Becky,
Not me. Go fuck yourself.
All right. So here we are. This is episode 4. That was
We
a
should
good
introduce
little-
ourselves
Yeah. So who the fuck are you? Go to my left.
I'm Dan.
I'm Greg.
Jer?
I'm Rebecca. Faith.
Well played.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Jared. This is Grown Up Human Comic
Comic
People.
people.
All right, so we're Grown Up Human Comic People. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Grown Up Humans, on YouTube, iTunes, Player FM, Tumblr, and Facebook at Grown Up Human Comic People. Make sure to like us and share it for your friends,
Yeah.
so that we can get some more listeners and continue to do this. Yeah, and on
Rate and review.
iTunes, rate and
Yes,
review us.
please.
Please.
That's
Questions,
important.
rate it.
Rate and review gets us visibility.
Yeah, so
Yes.
please do that.
We're getting pretty good visibility. Like before, it was like you would type in "grown up" and we wouldn't even show up. But now
Right.
we're like the third one down. So
Yeah,
nice.
we are.
it's helping.
Yeah.
It's
Help
nice.
us.
Oh, and some plugs. We're at Southside Comics at 1819 East Carson Street.
Well,
So.
Not for
when
long.
this airs.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. When,
Well, I don't know.
when this
I mean,
airs.
it's probably gonna. This will air before we move.
Okay. Yeah. So for briefly,
The store
after you
will
listen
move.
to this, the store's going to move down to where the Commonwealth Press is on Carson Street, next to
31, I think.
next to the Psychic Shop.
Across the street from Smoke and Joe's.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's where you should go for all your comic book needs. Come out to Radical Trivia. Go to radicaltrivia.com. Facebook Radical Trivia. If you'd like being stymied at bars and getting drunk and listening to me swear at you, you should come out.
It's a lot of fun, actually.
Yes, we have a lot of fun.
I go sometimes.
Go check out Midnight Rose, MIDKNIGHT Rose on Facebook, YouTube, and Reverb Nation. Me, or Greg, Jared, and myself are all in that band, and we do classic rock stuff, and we will melt your faces. So that's cool.
You are doing 2 shows in August.
We are doing 2 shows in August.
Right.
What? Is this Is this episode going to air?
It's going to be right before Rant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So you can
Greg,
talk
you want
about
to tell
Rant.
us about that?
yeah. So.
See, I'm supporting.
August.
Thank
Thank you. Because gosh. So August 13th, both 2 Saturdays, one after the other. Saturday in August is August 13th. Rant Festival will be down at the Hop Farm Brewery.
Right next to.
Yeah.
I know the address is Butler Street. It's 5 something something something. Butler
It's across the
Street.
street from that shop and save. It's up on a hill.
Yeah.
There you go.
Near
That's all-
Dan's gym.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
50.
Yeah.
It's the 5600 block.
Yes.
That
of
sounds about
Butler
right.
Street.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
It's. I guarantee it is.
Okay. All right. Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
So go to the rant. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
Rant is fun.
We're there at like 6:30.
It's 6:30, I
Like
think,
that
yeah.
night. Yeah. Then like there'll be music until like 10 or maybe after. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's then. Should be cool. I think it's kind of a small place. So it'll be,
Intimate.
it'll be intimate.
You can get
Yes.
right up on our shit.
Say hi.
You,
know,
can,
come
you can
party with
smell.
us.
You'll be able to smell our leather pants.
The other one is the week after that, August 20th. We will be at Diesel.
At 7 p.m. I know because I have a ticket.
Well, we are the third of 3 bands that night. So
Oh, so we're the opener.
yeah,
we're
the show
headliners.
starts at 7.
Yeah,
we'll have
headline
2
that.
openers, I guess, so to speak.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Is this
And,
going to be
uh,
a repeat of the brew house where like you supposed to go on at 10?
No,
but
that
you
will
go on
not
at
happen.
1:30?
No, that will not happen.
No.
Absolutely not.
Now we'll be playing a good set there. And it's decently. They've got a stage, lights. It's cool, and I don't know.
And
We
it-
actually
it's not a club whenever we're playing there.
Right.
Like,
Right.
if you say
Yeah,
Diesel to
yeah,
somebody, and they're like,
people
oh,
think
I don't
Diesel-
go there. It's
yeah.
not going to be like that.
No,
when-
not at all.
When we're playing.
When people, when
Right.
bands are playing, it's a completely different.
It's actually a really
environment.
great place to play.
It
Yeah.
never used to be like the club.
Yeah, it was what's it?
Nick's Fat City.
Nick's Fat City.
yeah.
Oh, I love
It
Nick's
was
Fat
always
City. All my friends'
that
bands
kind
were
of
there.
venue, like a band venue.
Yeah.
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 It's unfortunate that it has been labeled otherwise.
Yeah. Well.
So we'll be there bringing it back.
Yeah, we'll
to
be-
its true intended purpose.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
night.
Yeah. Go see them. They're awesome. And they're epileptic friendly.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless they use other. Diesel has house lights too, so I can't.
I know.
vouch for
I
that.
told Greg that I will call them, and if we have another, podcast before then, I'll let you know for all of our epileptic listeners.
There you go.
I'm just trying to keep you informed, okay?
Yeah. So we do have. I think at the door, I think it's like $10 for them. If you wanted advance tickets, we have for 8. If anybody wanted to get a
Yeah, they are
group
$10.
together or anything.
Yeah, so just go to Midnight Rose on Facebook, and you can find us and ask us if you want tickets. Just contact us, and we'll get them to you for
Awesome.
$8. Not bad.
Cool beans.
Midnight, MIDKNIGHT Rose, Facebook,
hold on to your nuts.
and
I run,
MetaMesh.
yeah, I run it. I help run a charity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, we have news because we just got a $15,000 grant
Congratulations.
from Neighborhood Allies to
awesome.
provide the Hill District with free wireless, and we are getting, and I won't say who they are because they're still forthcoming, matching funds. And we're going to be doing some like Section 8 housing with fiber. I mean,
Wow.
they're going to be, some of the poorest people in Pittsburgh are going to have some of the fastest wireless. It's actually going to be pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And the other thing is that we've actually met with the Southside, and this is salient to where we are right now. We've met with the Southside Chamber and the Southside Planning Committee. We are actually going to be hitting the pavement in the Southside because there's a lot of gaps in the Southside wireless. Individual stores have wireless, but
Yeah.
some bars, big bars, don't have anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And we want to close that gap.
A
And there-
problem, I think. Well, a big problem is not wireless, but even like cell phone service. Some of these buildings are really really old.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
that's a big.
difficult
And we our new that the antennas that we build are smaller than a deck of cards. And one of the problems that we face, especially in Shady Side, was that our old routers, which are huge and 3 foot tall, were not historical district compliant. And a lot of buildings in the South Side are historical district.
Right.
So our new tiny little routers, antennas / are compliant. And that was the main thing that people were considered with. And we've actually had people like that are really anal retentive about it, that work for the South Side with the Reporter, that are looking like, oh, we have routers on the Beehive, we have routers, going on the Chamber building, and they've actually looked for them, kind of trying to find a violation, and they
Yeah.
can't even see them. Fuck you. So yeah, we're gonna be hitting the pavement soon. So if you're listening to this in the South Side, we will be contacting you. So
right.
metamesh.org, you can contact us at info@metamesh.org.
Nice. All right, so let's go into
What are we doing?
what Chin's doing.
Oh boy.
I feel like we go off the rails a lot on this.
Yeah,
and
we
I
definitely
think for
do.
all of this, we should use this 5 minutes because we've all been watching Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah, let's just hit that.
let's fucking hit that, man. That's
Let's get
incredible.
strange.
Well, before you, I just want to
stay
say
strange.
one thing,
Yeah,
and
you
I've
do.
said it many times before. Please donate blood. Really, really, it's really important to me because I get blood. And I mean, you guys have been really nice in letting me say all this serious shit every time. But I get blood a lot. I have a very rare blood type, and Pittsburgh actually has a deficit of rare blood types. So please get your ass out there if you're healthy. It doesn't hurt that, like, for more than 11 billionth of a second. Please donate your blood. Okay, I'm done.
Donate blood. So we got Stranger Things. This is a Netflix show. It came out maybe 3 weeks ago, something like
Yeah,
that.
and we've all watched all of it.
Yeah, we pretty much, almost all of us will finish it.
I have 2 more to go, but spoil the fuck out of it.
It's great.
okay.
It's great.
I don't care.
You know, actually,
It
I
is
don't.
great.
It's new. It's new enough that I don't really want to spoil the fuck out of it because people are listening that haven't. It's really great. It's pretty much the way I described it is if you put E.T. and the Goonies together and made it kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
There's definitely an X-Files.
yeah. It's a
feel
love
to
letter.
it.
It's
Oh,
a
and
love
there's-
letter to all those types of 80s,
80s
movies.
Dungeons and Dragons
Spielberg
and nerddom.
storytelling.
Yeah,
is
Spielberg
Winona
stuff.
Ryder.
employed.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
It's really great. It makes
11
you,
is my homegirl. I started that hashtag.
It makes you feel
It's
like
actually caught on.
it makes you feel like you're in that time period.
Yeah.
They do a really great immersive job
They do.
of just making the period come alive.
Yeah, like a lot of shows that like you watch something and it's in a different time period. The theme song won't represent that,
Oh yeah.
But this really goes all in with the 80s feel, and I love it.
Fuck.
I love the
man.
graphics.
I totally. When you said that, I had that thought, but every time that theme song came, it reminded me. It was so reminiscent of who did Halloween, like the John Carpenter.
Carpenter.
Oh,
yeah.
John
With
Sounds
the,
like yeah.
that
Yeah.
What?
that synthy sort of just sets it up. I mean, I feel like for me anyway, that sound is so like closely anchored into my brain that I think I start to get like a little dopamine release when that comes on
Dude.
because I attribute that with so many great memories of
Yeah.
watching these films as a kid or these shows and then as a teenager and then goddamn as an adult. But having it started so young when I was probably, I don't know, 7 years old, 8, I don't know, 6, 7 with my dad. And that hits it and like immediately it puts me, it's like a, like hypnosis,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just this suggestion and all this stuff. Like, I don't give a fuck. That's like the one show, or one of the activities I should say where I don't think about my phone.
Yeah, you
I don't
just
think
watch.
about like kind
exactly.
of anything.
I ignore everything.
Yeah. And as soon as that theme music hits, I'm like,
Do you know
right
what?
there.
Do you know what kind of mood in terms of remembering what I watched? It gets me in Twin Peaks.
Okay.
That
yeah.
kind of sci-fi. I mean,
Sure.
Twin Peaks was 1991, 1990, right?
Boom.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
so much synthy, but that time, that creepy, eerie feeling, and I'm just like, oh, I'm into this, and I'm ignoring everything else in my life to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and later I know Greg and I love X-Files, but yeah, and I know Jared likes Twin Peaks just like I do. So, it just reminded me of Twin Peaks when I
The-
first started watching it.
One thing that it has in common with Twin Peaks is that it's normal people encountering abnormal
things, right.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
though the Twin Peaks people are not really normal, but yeah.
Can I just
There's-
say, like, the Christmas lights? That was just amazing for me. Like, how Winona Ryder and how she's trying to convince everyone else. I mean, she's clearly gone through a tragedy, and they're letting her slide, but just, like, she's doing the most rational thing a mother and anyone can do. And, like,
She's keeping an open mind.
yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And so is the cop. I forget
Right.
the cop's name. I forget.
Jim
Hopper.
Right,
yeah.
Hopper, right.
Hopper's awesome.
But-
He's so
He's
good.
great.
The
That guy
the Hopper's great, and the Christmas lights, that set up is just amazing,
The
and it
alphabet.
just gives you that hope
Yeah.
that Will is still around, and oh god,
So-
please watch the show.
I took some notes. And,
This is rare for him too. Like I wanted to point that
Yeah.
out because, like I
Greg,
started.
you do emails, but I've never seen you do notes.
This is like 4.
Yeah,
6,
I
8.
started
Wait, is
watching
that
this.
all
10,
on
but
Stranger
it's
Things?
but no, it's so because there's like a lot of stuff that just got thrown. So as far as the lights, I read a little bit online as soon as I was done watching this. It was like 4:00 in the morning, so I found like whatever articles I could find. Those Christmas lights were originally supposed to be the teenagers' way of hunting the creature, but at somewhere in the writing process it transitioned, and they said that they actually can't remember which writer it was that came up with the idea to have it. Sorry. I got excited, Jer.
You know better.
I got excited,
That's
Jer.
interesting. So the older brother. It was
Okay.
the older brother of Will trying to hunt.
Yeah. Well, so between he and Nancy, they were hunting the creature,
Nancy.
but that it like I was saying, one of the writers had the idea that it was going to instead be Nancy's way of communicating with Will. That for one thing. Also, the music. It was a duo of writers. Here's something I lifted. The music for the show is composed by two musicians from Austin, Michael Stein and Kyle Dixon. Kyle and Michael had never composed for film or television before. They were working day jobs. Michael was selling used synthesizers, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
He used synthesizers.
Yeah. One of the things that the Duffer Brothers have said about the music is how that came about. They wanted the sentiment of the Spielberg stuff like E.T. or even Goonies or whatever. And how they tested it, they edited clips of those older movies like the Spielberg whatever into like a fake trailer for something that didn't exist. And they overlaid music from John Carpenter movies to see, and they said E.T. is scary as hell with John Carpenter music over top of it, and that's how they started to think in this like all electronic direction.
That makes sense.
That's making me think of what Mac and Me would be like with John Carpenter music.
Oh man, Mac and Me without sound and with different music over it would be horrifying.
Horrifying. By the way, if you've never seen Mac and Me, you'll probably come up with the Paul Rudd,
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien movies. Watch them all.
Yeah.
Just do it. Sorry, Greg, go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, here's what happened. I watched I heard about it one afternoon. We were going up for band practice. Jared had part of an episode on, and I was like, oh, okay, cool title sequence, first episode. That night, I watched the first 4 episodes, then skipped a night, then watched the next 2, and then the final 2 the following night. And then up until this afternoon, I was watching it all over again. So I got the first few episodes down, took some notes. Man, it's great. So just a bunch of stuff like listen,
He loves it so much. Like he never does
got
that.
some notes.
Greg never does this.
It's so hard to get him to watch almost anything.
Prepared right now.
Yeah.
My mind is blown.
Yeah.
He's been thinking
I
so
really-
hard.
I
about
want to
this.
point out a couple
Hit
of
that
things.
shit, Greg.
Okay.
Yeah, Greg,
just
go.
fucking crush it.
All right, so you mentioned Hopper already. Great character because he starts out as kind of a bastard,
Yeah.
and you don't realize until later on like why he kind of has reason
Why
to be
he's a bastard.
He used to be, he's from that area, wasn't big, cop in the city, whatever. Lost somebody, and then now he's back and just doesn't give a shit about anything until he realizes that it matters. Like he doesn't care until he realizes that something's up, and he's like, oh shit. Then you see him like really show his colors. But until then, though, it's hilarious because when Winona Ryder is talking to him, and she's like, freaking out, and he's like, coffee and contemplation, that's my morning, whatever. But she's saying like how rough Will has had it. Like, his friends make fun of his clothes, and he's like, what's wrong with his clothes? And she's like, does it matter? And he's like, well, maybe. And she's like, and he says like, oh, maybe his dad, his father, deadbeat, whatever, is took him, and she's like,
Oh, his dad's such a shoot rooster.
yeah,
too.
but she's like, Lonnie hates him. She's like, no, Lonnie used to call him queer. He used to call him a fag. And then Hopper's like, well, is he?
Yeah.
She's like, he's missing, Hop.
Yeah.
So great.
And they had a relationship too, right?
Yes.
It's
yeah.
It's implied.
It's implied.
Well,
Just
apparently
one of
he's
the-
like banged a lot of people in town.
But one of
Yeah.
the police officers under him like talked to the other one. He's like,
Didn't they hook up?
Yeah, didn't
yeah,
they,
that
like-
was implied, like
yeah.
directly implied.
Of the two supporting kind of cops, the one asked the other one, like, so the chief and Mrs. Byers, like,
Yeah.
they hooked up, right? But then the other cop, like, kind of like scoffed at him. As I don't know which one to believe. I'm not sure. It's
I think it's possible because they actually, they form a connection. I think that's beyond both of their lost children.
Well, I think it's part of the joke of Hopper having hooked up with like a bunch of women in town.
Oh yeah.
Because
Everybody
one of
in
them
town.
says like, "Dude, the librarian."
Yeah.
it's like,
And he's like, "Shut
really?
up."
Which
Yeah.
again goes back to Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true too. But no, one of the knowing what the Duffer Brothers, like the creators of this thing, like seeing what else they've done elsewhere in it, they embrace the idea of interpretation. So I don't think that they wanted it to be entirely clear. I'm not that him hooking up with Joyce is all that important. They at least knew each other before he moved to the city and was doing that stuff. And
I'm
that's
so impressed.
because they're from the same area.
Greg has a
Greg.
phone of notes and printouts
And paper
of
notes.
Yeah.
Greg never does this,
This
everyone.
is amazing.
I probably should have emailed the phone notes to myself so I could print those out instead and have like
No, no,
pencils.
this is
and
great.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't.
How many
We won't.
pages of notes do you have?
I don't
right
want to
there?
curb your enthusiasm.
A lot of this is copy pasted. This is like a couple of interviews that I found. This 10 pages or so. But
This is 10 pages
Okay.
worth
Yeah,
of fucking
Jesus.
awesome right here. This show.
So listen, somebody, I was talking about this to somebody else a few days ago, and they said, like, one thing is Barb, who goes missing. They're like, you know, it's one thing that's kind of strange. If anybody
poor
who's
Barb.
wondering, about, poor Barb, she's.
Yeah, she gets it dirty.
Oh God.
By the
She
way,
has the glasses from the Goonies. Now that you're from the
Yeah.
I saw, yeah, right. I saw one picture of that actress who, by the way, I don't know her name, but she had, from the interviews I read, that actress who plays Barb had never acted before.
Right.
Did fine, I thought. I wanted to confirm this, but somebody showed me a picture of her, and she looked pretty damn good in this picture that was like non-show.
Oh no,
yeah,
they
I know.
uglied her up. I mean, I
Yeah.
sent you a picture of her looking normal, and she looks fine.
She looks
all right.
She looks better than fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least in the one that I saw. But anyway, so and I
There's a
wasn't.
lot. By the way, there's a lot of sympathetic memes
Thirsty.
out there. Just from, oh damn!
What'd you say? Whatever. I'll listen to it later.
Jesus.
Wait, I just want to finish what I was gonna say because it's. So... There's a lot of sympathetic memes out there for Barb. Like we will like R.I.P. Barb, and we will always remember you, Barb, because Barb does kind of get the short end.
Oh,
of the
Barb
stick.
gets fucked over so hard in the
Oh,
show. No one
God.
gets fucked over harder than
I
Barb.
didn't finish. She doesn't come back.
Oh no. Oh, that's right. You don't care about.
No, you
spoilers.
know
I
that.
don't care.
She
No, you know
does
that.
not come
I mean, I
back.
know-
You
like-
see her get pulled back down in the pool.
and that's the end of Barb.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's okay.
You
This is
see
my
her-
only question
I mean,
to
it gets
ask.
dirty.
later
No,
on.
Greg.
It's cool though. She gets pulled into.
And-
it.
I'm saying like the thing definitely got her.
Well,
Yeah,
here's
like,
my query.
The
Be-
inverse universe of the pole.
The
she's
upside down.
Sitting on, like
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, the what would they give the name? The Gorgon or
the
something?
Gola monster.
Yeah.
What's it called? The fucking-
But okay, here's my only query, and I
The
actually posed this
Paragorgon
to
or
Greg.
Demogorgon.
Demogorgon, thank you. All right, so
No, that's
in
the
your
Paragorgon.
notes,
Ask Greg. What do you mean?
Will was taken
Excellent.
days earlier
Yeah.
than Barb.
Yeah.
Right.
Why was Barb completely obliterated? Is it because Will hid in his little tent?
Yes.
Well, I think
How the
I
fuck
think
did he-
they partially or Will somehow got away from it. I think.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Or and I don't want to. I'm not going to ruin the very end for Dan, but like there might be like an extra reason why it took Will and like didn't fucking.
Do you think there might have been like a connection because Eleven was
Yeah.
looking for her?
Yeah.
Because Nancy asks when she's in that pool, damn it,
I don't care.
where's
Say it.
Barb?
Say
And like she gives her the shitty answer, but you know, Will on the other hand hides, and then we know he's hiding in that tent in the
Yeah.
Upside Down.
Will's also really smart too.
He is.
So he's
Barb
he's
might
been
not
able to
be.
survive.
Barb was
Well, Barb's kind of like useless.
Yeah, but I think that thing wanted to plant a baby in him because at the end he's
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Could have been.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, what?
just watch the last two episodes.
Yeah, just finish it.
trying not to ruin it for some people.
That one's, so there is. I talked about being open to interpretation. The ending is somewhat left open to interpretation.
Yeah.
My purpose here is highlighting all the like the beneath the surface layers of like, hey, this show's awesome. I know that you already know this, but in case you didn't notice this part, this is one other thing that makes it awesome. And so many of those things pop up out, and like a lot of them I only noticed whenever the second time watching it through. One of them was, and unfortunately I didn't get to the very end of it to confirm this, but do you remember when, so when Mike kisses Eleven, sorry about the spoiler there, toward the end.
Yeah.
In
My
in
God,
the gym,
Mike.
yeah, right.
Oh my god! How could you?
But I want to check this, and I don't want to not to pull a, well, whatever. Sorry, Kendall, not to pull a Kendall, but.
Damn.
But
Fuck you doing?
But I think
I
that
already made fun of him.
I want to see if the
Yeah.
music during that part is
You
the
don't
same.
have pizza breath.
Is the same music? Damn. I want to see if the music during that part is the same music that is playing when Steve Harrington kisses Nancy in the hall for the first time after they have sex. It's a.
Fucking Steve.
It's like a like Steve. It's a it's kind of like an innocent sounding like happy synth theme. It's
Yeah.
cool, but I wonder if it's the same thing because it's episodes later and I can't remember. Anyway,
I
that,
wouldn't have noticed that. It would have took me a while, like a bunch of times watching that to notice that.
I wondered. Anyway, one of the one of the best
too good
things.
for Steve.
What's it called? Shit.
I fucking
Becky
hate
was saying
Steve's
before
hair.
about
it's so
Eleven's her
floofy.
homegirl.
Yep.
Such
So
a floof.
here's the thing. with 11,
great.
she is great. And the actress that plays her name is Millie Bobby Brown. She was...
She's great.
I kept seeing that name. I was like, Millie Bobby Brown? Like,
Yeah, I don't know why you choose that.
why would you do Millie Brown? Is that not a...
Because her parents like Millie Vanilli and Bobby Brown. So
Wow.
There's the other Bobby Brown who's the woman in the Cherry Pie video.
Yeah,
Right.
that is Bobby Brown.
no.
But anyway, she...
He said, "Oh, okay."
Stupid.
so her thing, like, she obviously is, once you realize that you've met this this woman Terry Ives, and she was abducted as an infant from this woman and like just raised in this lab, which is horrible. But being in that like controlled environment the whole time, the Dr. Brenner, who's of course played by Full Metal Jacket guy whose name is Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's like this. He probably like he has her call him Papa. So behind that, you realize she doesn't have parents. She doesn't have any friends or anything. And watching it, you realize that he probably has cursory knowledge and nothing more than that. That familial roles to developing people are important to kids or whatever. So he just says like, oh, okay, well.
Well, that's how he controls her.
Yeah, so he has her call him Papa, and really he doesn't give a shit about her or anything. Is using her, but so when in the scene, like my favorite scene I think of the entire series is when he has her try to kill the cat or hurt the cat.
Yeah.
That's in the cage. She shakes her head no. He throws her. We see now for the second time him throwing her inside that isolation chamber.
Yeah.
This time she's not having it. Turns around, slams the door open, knocks the guy against the wall, knocks him out, snaps the other guy's neck. Matthew Modine comes in, sees that, and just the way that he looks down, there's no dialogue, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
He just looks down and he's like, not afraid. He sees the results that he wanted to see with the cat. He sees it with two of his coworkers. Good enough.
Yeah.
He approaches her, completely fearless.
He's a fuck.
Yeah, he's a fuck. Completely fearless. She's looking at him. She's no longer like in a menacing, like self-preservation way. Looking at, like she's now, for every step he's taking, she's crumbling down. He reaches his hand out to her, and that's what makes her crumble. When he says "incredible,"
Yeah.
and that like sign of pseudo affection
Yeah.
is the closest thing that she's ever felt that she's had toward affection, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
And he picks her up and carries her away, and just that scene of like the reverse thing. It's
Oh yeah. That
like she probably feels like it's a home kind of moment, and it's not that at all.
Yeah.
And that's what's awful about it.
Oh yeah. He's
Anyway,
a son of a
it's
bitch.
Dan,
stuff,
wait
all
until
kinds of
you
stuff
see
like
the
that. I
finale.
could skip all the other
hope he
half
dies
of
a
stuff that I've
horrible
got
death.
Well.
down. But
Anyway, this show we're getting a little. That's
Yeah.
enough of that. This
Watch
is
the
this
show.
is good. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Watch it.
We
It's
all
awesome.
love it.
Yeah. We all have
And
watched
so does
it.
most people who watch it.
Oh yeah. No, I haven't heard anybody doesn't like
Oh,
it.
and
Season 2, right?
you know,
I think so.
Renewed.
and by the way,
Pretty sure I
like
saw
the
that.
Yeah.
kid cast, they are like super best friends in real life, and it's fucking
great kids.
adorable.
The toothless kid.
Yeah. Oh,
toothless.
God.
He's so good.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
So
I
nice.
mean, he's the best. He's the
so
one
nice.
who like pushes the plot forward and binds everyone. Oh God, just fucking watch the show.
All right, so let's go. Anybody got to fuck him?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The first 30 minutes of The Killing Joke.
Okay.
Oh, this is fun.
Have any of you guys seen it?
Yeah, I watched
I
that
didn't see.
shit.
I didn't see
I've
it.
seen it.
Okay.
The animation's fucking terrible.
It is terrible, but we kind of
Did you
predicted
see
that.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like it's like an internet cartoon. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
the animation's so shitty.
The animation sucks. It's like outsourced
made in
to
Korea.
Korea.
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
their animation like fucking process is
Why would they do
horrendous.
that?
I don't know.
That's
they're
my
cheap.
question.
They're cheap
They're cheap.
fucks.
I mean,
Why?
they spent more money on before you watch the actual movie, there is a 20-minute, segment on the making of, and then a 30
It's
or
a
40-minute
it's a
making
nice
of after.
interview of Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill
He
about
gives-
the Joker.
Right, and it's great.
It is well done. And I argued to Degnan over here that it was those before and after segments making of are better. But here's my complaint. I don't really give a shit that Batgirl fucked Batman. That is the big internet outrage.
Well, I
that
don't
is
care.
not my
Yeah, I don't
complaint.
care either.
Wait,
That's-
that's not my complaint.
That's happened before.
So just to
Yeah.
put things forward, okay, so The Killing Joke, written by Alan Moore, the actual plot of the Killing Joke book does not get started until 30 minutes in. Like I said, My fuck it is 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes. So they give Batgirl and Batman this backstory, and it's independently written by the movie's writers. And they reduce Batgirl to like this, the worst of female cliches. She's got this gay, effeminate friend. She's pining after Batman. She's making horrible mistakes to a mob boss who is kind of borderline obsessed with her, and she makes poor decisions just because she wants attention. They make a menstruation joke. It's just bad. It's poorly written. It reduces her to like this horrible cliche. And guys, I really don't normally give a shit about feminism and this shit, but this was bad. This was really bad. And then, and we know what happens to her in The Killing Joke.
Right.
And
I think that what they were trying. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but because the original criticism for The Killing Joke is like, oh, she's literally just someone an object to take away from Jim Gordon, like,
yeah.
And that's her only purpose.
Well,
so I see that they try to give her like more of a backstory.
But that's the point. So they could have done
a different
more.
Like a different backstory.
Exactly.
Like
They
made her just do the animated series backstory.
Yeah.
Like she's
God.
also just trying to help. Like
But
and
that's already been done. So
it has. But
like, what do you do? And in this case, you wanted to create a parallel to the actual Killing Joke. So you created. It's pretty much two movies in one. You have,
it is.
And I'm not saying the first half was good because it was okay. That's how I view it. Like I don't hate it. I don't like it. It's okay because Batgirl is used as sort of a parallel to Batman in The Killing Joke. There are some really bad lines or some bad dialogue, And
is it your time of the month?
But again, like if you say that like out of context, it's really bad. But when you think about how it was used in the movie, the guy's name was Paris Franz.
Yeah.
And they basically made a joke that like he was a douche, and he said a douchey line. So like, okay, whatever. Like he's a horrible character in this story.
But she chases after him
because
to
she
get
fucking
attention.
hated him. Because she said like I cannot deal with you. Like I hate you so much. Like have you ever fucking hated someone that you just like wanted to fucking
yeah. I guess I see your point.
That's where she
It's
was, and it wasn't properly
executed.
It wasn't. It could have been better. But you know what? It's like I told this to someone else I was talking to. It's like all the fucking recent DC animated movies. They're just meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not great.
But
They're not well thought out. They're not well constructed. They're not well written.
Right.
But then when you get to the Killing Joke part,
it's great. It's fine.
It's the best.
It's great.
It's fucking everything I ever wanted. As a younger person, when I read The Killing Joke for the first time, I heard the voices of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, yeah.
And panel for panel, line for line, almost, I would say like 92% of the things that are in the book.
You
are
could
in the
follow
movie.
along with the book, honestly.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And that, like, by the end of it, I was like, I don't really care what the fucking criticism is, because I just watched what I imagined in my head,
Yeah, he's
and I feel
right.
so fucking satisfied right now. I feel great.
So
yes, I don't really like how the first half was, but whatever.
But that's why I said the first 30 minutes.
Right.
So-
yeah, exactly.
So
I
the
very
bottom
much
line is-
enjoyed, like, the actual Killing
Once you
Joke
got
part
there,
of
it
it.
was good.
And the ending
Once
was
you got there,
very
it was
well
good.
done, and everyone loves the ending of the Killing. I mean, that's why it's popular.
The whole feminist fucking movement online is absurd, though.
But you know what gets me about the
Absurd.
feminist movement is why I disagree with it. They are pissed about the sex scene, and I couldn't give two
Who
fucking
cares?
shits.
Because A, she took what she wanted in the scene.
she did. She was in
took him.
control.
B, in Batman Beyond, it's pretty much stated, the cartoon.
They have a
From
relationship.
a long time ago.
Yep.
That they had a relationship. C, in the follow-up comic, Batman Beyond 2.0, Bruce Wayne knocked her up. Like, that is
Yep.
fucking, that was already said. He knocked her up. That's why he ended up falling out with Nightwing and blah, 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 and that's the end. So I don't really care.
Yeah.
I
don't-
care
I completely
about
agree
that.
with
Like,
you.
people freaking out online
Yeah.
that it was anti-feminist. No.
No,
way.
for me, it was just.
It just wasn't.
It was
wasn't
everything
great. It wasn't a
before and
great
after. They had an
fucking portrayal.
opportunity
All
to
right.
do a backstory for Batgirl and Batman, and I think they did a shit poor job of it.
So
That's all.
fuck the first 30 minutes of Killing
Everything
Joke. The
after
rest of it was
that,
cool.
go see it.
Yeah, and the
Fuck the
animation
criticism.
poop.
Oh, the animation.
And also
is
fuck the
poop.
people who are complaining about it.
Right.
Fuck you, Korea, for doing shitty animation.
And fuck Korea. Yeah, sorry. Not Koreans. Korea, just the country.
The
itself.
animators in
The
Korea.
animators. Specifically, the animators in Korea that
Yeah.
did the work
Remember
for this
MASH?
thing for DC.
Lee Jong-boo? Come
Yes.
on, do a
Yeah,
better job.
Not everyone in
Put
Korea.
a little
I-
effort
yeah,
into it.
Just to clarify. Anybody else? Fuck them. Fuck them. I forgot. I had a whole list because last time I said fuck every website that has a list that you have to click a million goddamn times for.
Oh, yeah.
And I made a list of ones I had stumbled upon. I know a couple of them where like, I think I said before, Bleacher Report definitely does that. Fuck
Oh,
you.
yeah. Done. I don't. Yeah.
You know, honestly, like I used to go to IGN all the time because it really was cool. But
Oh,
like,
they're
back
really
in the day,
ad.
No, it ain't
it's
anymore.
fucking awful now. Fuck you, IGN. You're the worst. You need to just fucking hang it up. Fuck you.
CBR is terrible.
The worst.
Too.
Yeah.
Comic book resources. Like,
Oh,
if,
yeah.
if you're on Facebook, and I hate Facebook. The only reason I have a Facebook is because I need to have a personal account
To
to
get
have a
the
store
business,
account.
yeah.
So I followed Comic Book Resources (CBR). Every time I would click on one of their links, it would take me out of their site to another thing, and then I couldn't hit back within the Facebook app. It was a fucking worse. So I couldn't even read anything they said. So I sent
fuck
them a
that.
message. I was like, and I explained what happened, and I unfollowed them, and I just do like comicbook.com, and they're so much better.
Right.
Because if they have an ad, it's like 5 seconds, and then it's over. And
Right.
you can X out.
Right.
But like, yeah, like lists and like removing you, like, fuck.
Yeah, like basically, if you're running a website and it's not super duper convenient, you're gonna lose people immediately.
Yeah.
So fuck you and fix that shit.
Yeah.
Right. I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get how I can't be the only one that's experiencing
No,
this.
you
Like,
are not.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing.
So how
Like
do
Forbes.com recently lost a lot of.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, Forbes does the
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that. Because they have an ad before you even get to the goddamn website. It's like, you'll be redirected to Forbes.com in
And then it's a
10
quote or
seconds.
something.
Fuck you, I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Oh, also, no, okay, I remember this just now. National Geographic.
Oh, God.
Their website, anytime you want to go to fucking National Geographic, you can't even look at the website unless you fucking sign up.
Register, yeah.
You have to register.
Do you know who else you have to
no
do
matter
that for?
what.
Fucking postgazette.com.
Really?
You can open it in an incognito window, which is what you
Oh,
can do to
okay.
get most rep. But
Yeah.
Postgazette.
No, fuck that. Fuck you. I'm not like if you do that shit. That's it. 3 strikes. You're out. Like, immediately. That's all 3 strikes at once.
For
fuck
for
you.
a
Fuck 'em.
print media entity to
Yeah.
have that kind of balls
Oh
in this day
yeah,
and
yeah.
age.
Like, do you really think that people have any?
You understand that the reason why they're doing it is because they're losing the boomers who are dying off and like subscribing to actual tangible print media.
Yeah.
So they need those ads in order to survive and persevere.
Well, they
But
do.
you know what?
Well, the National Geographic thing is ridiculous. Just because I'm not registering for your site.
There are better ways to
I'm just
get
not
around
going
that.
to do that.
There are other sites do it well.
Yeah, I'm just not going to fucking do that.
So we won't sign up.
Yeah.
What
No,
else
do
can
that.
we fuck?
Let's see. Oh, well, what? I'm not sure what we're picking at. Oh, I don't know what that means. No, I don't think anybody has any.
Nope.
We have. I just do some corrections. We fucked up. I wrote these down throughout the week because I was listening to a past episode. The movie that I personally said this. I forget what I even said. What movie we were talking about? But it was the one with Kevin Kline where he's a teacher and he's forced out of the closet like on national television.
In and
Is that
out.
It's called
In or Out?
In and
In
Out.
and Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said it was called something else. I forget what I said, but it's In and Out.
In and Out.
And then
It's a good movie. I like it.
fuck them. No, there's another one. Fuck them. People who feel like they can only like either DC or Marvel.
Oh God, I hate those
Like,
guys.
shut the fuck. Like, you can read both things, man. Like, it's just a bunch of stories. Like,
Yep.
there's no. It's not a political fucking party. Like, that makes me so goddamn angry whenever I'm talking to somebody like, I really liked Batman v Superman. I'm like, why? Well, I'm more of like a DC guy. I don't really like Marvel. You know what?
Oh, you can like
That's bullshit because like they both do the same shit.
You had that conversation recently. In
I
this
did.
Building.
I did
Yeah.
in this room, and yeah,
I've
it was
had that
fucking
conversation
annoying
in
as
this
shit.
building.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's-
you know what? You can like Image
it's
or
just-
Dark Horse or Aftershock. Well,
you can
Aftershock is part
you
of
can like everything. It's just
Marvel,
like
but
really
still.
annoying.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
stupid as fuck.
Aftershock is not a part of Marvel.
Yes, it is.
No,
It is?
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
No,
No, it's
no,
not.
no, no, no.
No, it's not. It's
No.
not.
It is.
This is going to be our next installment of We Fucked Up. Next episode. One of us is going to have to say.
Aftershock's
is.
their own
No,
thing.
it's not. No, it's
So you're
not.
saying Patrick Olaf in the email you told me was wrong?
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Wait. So, you know what? We'll just talk about. So we'll do this research
We
later.
looked
We don't
it
have
up.
time to do that.
Like we talked about it on air last
Yeah, I think.
time.
Yeah, we did. We did look it up.
Yeah.
I
it's
wasn't
not-
here last time.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, it's not part of
Marvel?
Marvel. No.
We had to do a retraction on it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pass we fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was.
See,
that
I
was
wasn't
not-
here for the last 2 episodes.
Right.
And I listened to them. By the way, Chris, thank you.
Chris did a great job.
Chris did do a
yeah.
good job.
Way to go, Gable.
I
Yeah.
thanked him. I was like, thank
Yeah.
you.
You
He's just
son of a
fellow
bitch. You
sick person.
beautiful son of a bitch.
Not that he's listening right now or anything, but you know.
He might be.
He
No,
said
he's not. He didn't even listen to the one he was on.
I was
on.
gonna say he just said.
I just talked to him
yesterday
last night.
Yeah,
He
what
did.
a
I
piece
did
of
too.
shit.
Yeah,
I called
yeah.
him out. Yeah. Chris, if you're listening to this one, fuck you, man.
Yeah. That's under fuck him. Fuck
No,
Chris
he
Gable.
won't.
That.
He
I
didn't even
gave
listen
you
to
the
goddamn-
extra. I gave you the extra special thing at the end too.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Fucker.
And I'm sure the Kendall says "fuck you" too.
Yeah.
I'm
Nah,
actually,
he's,
I'm actually
nah, he's cool.
interested about the Aftershock thing.
I think you're thinking because I think what you're thinking is Mike Martz was a Marvel executive, and he left Marvel to create Aftershock.
Okay.
So maybe what was transpired in your conversation, like this guy came from Marvel and he helped create this because they were fuck, I lost my train of thought. But they were created. We talked about this last time. What the fuck?
So it's not a subsidiary. It's from former Marvel employees who have formed a new publishing company.
Exactly.
Independent.
Mike Martz quits Marvel.
Okay.
It's a startup. That's the word I was looking for. It's a
Okay.
startup, and maybe that's where you got your information from. I
Perhaps.
don't know.
Yeah.
But
No. I
that
fully
is
submit
totally
to that, yeah.
legitimate. Like, Aftershock is not part of Marvel at all.
No, I had an email, because remember I got an email from Patrick Olaf, because I keep begging him to come on the show. And he said he was in San Diego. And he was all of his emails are like 2 sentences long. All he said was he was with Aftershock with Marvel.
Because Patrick Olaf he drew Spider-Man back in the day. Like, he has done
Right.
Marvel work, but Aftershock is not related to Marvel
Okay,
at all.
fair enough.
No.
All right.
I
So
stand corrected.
let us go on to the books for this episode. Up first, got the Predator versus Dread versus Alien. I'm sorry. It's is that right?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what's yeah?
Yeah. J-Man.
Can I have the book? Do we have the
Oh,
book?
yeah, with the
Give me
book.
the I like to
I
hold it.
have it here.
I like to hold it as I do it.
Oh, someone else. Oh, here's mine.
It's over.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
Thanks. You gotta take it out of the wrapper too.
Yeah.
This is a fun book.
Yeah, it is.
I like how this started out too. It even starts out a little joking.
Tell us who the.
Okay, yeah,
people
we
are.
got this is
Dark Horse book.
IDW, which we don't do much.
Yeah,
No, we
IDW
really-
does Turtles and what else do they do?
They have a lot of licensed properties.
Yeah. Oh, do the Power Rangers?
No, that's
No.
Boom.
Oh, Boom.
IDW has Ghostbusters,
Right.
Turtles,
Yeah.
Godzilla,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
it was
a lot of
stuff
that
like
licensed
that.
shit.
Yeah.
And
But
Boom,
wait.
Boom has some of it too. Like those smaller publishers, they sort of bought into the licensed stuff.
But this
Yeah.
is a Dark Horse book, right?
This is
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
IDW
this
and
is
a
Dark Horse.
crossover book.
Okay,
this
that's
is
what I
like
thought,
a
yeah.
collaboration book.
Cool.
Yeah, it's IDW and Dark Horse. Like
Awesome.
Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was DC.
Was DC and-
IDW. Yeah. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot. And Green Lantern and Star Trek did one. It was
Yeah.
DC. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of collaboration books.
Yeah, kind of
lately.
is a hauler back to the old Amalgam
Oh yeah.
books,
I
where
wish.
the two big guns getting together, Marvel and
Why
DC.
can't they do it again?
Making the most ridiculous fucking combinations of superheroes. That shit was so stupid.
Fucking give us some
It was-
Hulk versus Superman.
Oh
Come
man,
on.
it was the most 90s shit ever.
Like the Dodge Stealth.
Yeah.
When Mitsubishi and Mopar came together to create the worst car ever.
Oh, this is the worst car in
you
the
drive
world.
you drive your Dodge Stealth to the comic book shop and pick up some Amalgam comics. Amalgam comics.
Like some crazy vents on the side. Looks like the fucking thing can fly, but it's like only a little bit, like kind of, it's like faster than
Still
a
a
sedan.
four-cylinder.
It's like, yeah.
All right, anyway, sorry, Jared. but-
Okay.
Yeah. So, derailed you.
Well, this bitch was written by John Layman, art's Chris Mooneyham.
Okay, that's a great last
which is a
name.
great fucking last name.
Mr. Mooneyham.
Mr. Mooneyham. Who all read this? Did everybody read it?
Yeah.
Do we all read
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
except for
Loved it.
Greg.
I read.
Greg, you didn't read this? Oh, you'd love
No, I
this.
just
This was like
Oh,
the
yeah.
funnest book.
You would have probably liked this because you
You
love
love it, yeah.
Predator and you
I-
love Alien and
I
shit.
loved all three of those things. Yeah.
Has Judge Dredd ever done anything with Predator and Alien?
I don't
No,
think
I
so.
don't
I think it's the
No.
first time, and this
See, I
was
love
set
Judge
like in his world, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I like how too it starts out with this. They just give you this "Are you ready?" Like at the beginning of it, and it just tells you like the little background. I guess if you don't know who Predator and Alien are, even though like
Somehow.
who would like buy this
I
if
don't
they didn't
know.
know any of these characters were?
Yeah.
Isn't
You
there
know?
like a little Mortal Kombat on the front page? I think it says fight.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and then it says in this corner, and then it shows Predator and says some shit about it, and then in that corner Judge Dredd, and in the other corner, because there's 3 fucking things going on here, and the story was like just starting out. There's not a whole lot to like. It might
Yeah.
go on
There's
and
not a lot of
like get really
exposition.
interesting, but
Yeah, with things like this, especially the crossovers, like each one usually takes place in one of the universes that
Yeah.
all 2 or 3 of the things are from. So this one takes place
It's-
on
yeah.
Earth in Judge Dredd's universe.
it starts with like a predator showing up, and he's like fighting some like.
Some of the cursed Earth residents.
Is that what they are? Because I don't know a ton about Judge Dredd.
Well, apparently these guys are in like one of the areas of the cursed Earth,
Yeah.
and
There's
they're
a
like
scientist.
mutants created by some scientist. Yeah, so they guard his like little kind of enclave.
Now,
And-
is the scientist, is he a character in Judge Dredd?
I don't
Have we
know.
seen him before? Is he totally
Maybe in the comics. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know a lot of about the comics of Judge
I mean,
Dredd.
because there's a very long history of Judge Dredd.
Oh,
I should say
God, yeah.
2000 AD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So possibly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like this book was just written to be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what-
Exactly.
That was my
Like,
take on-
like I don't know how many it's gonna be. 4, 5, whatever. It's
Yeah.
just fun.
Yeah.
You know, like here's 3 things that you like. This is definitely like there's a target audience here, and if you like Judge Dredd, you probably like the other things.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So like this really just like I thought it encapsulated everything very well.
Yeah.
All those types of things.
Yeah, well, because at the beginning it feels like a Judge Dredd book, especially because like it's Dredd going out in the middle of
Yeah.
the fucking cursed Earth. and,
are here.
yeah, and just like being badass like Judge Dredd does, and then they find this fucking whatever, and then at the end you get, I think that the hook is that this scientist has captured one of the predators, and then at the very end some of his buddies show up looking for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've
Yeah.
got it's not Judge, it's more like Predators versus Judge Dredd versus
Yeah.
aliens. And we actually don't even see any
We
aliens
have
yet.
not. We saw a
Facehugger.
face hugger.
Oh right. Yeah,
and
we
the
just see
scientist
those.
had a face hugger.
Yeah, so-
and he referenced aliens in Judge Dredd City. He did say that. At
Okay,
one
yeah,
point.
yeah. So
But
yeah,
the
there's
Oh, sorry.
No, go.
No, the storytelling, I felt like going into it, I thought this could be sloppy and kind of difficult
yeah.
to follow.
Yeah.
But it's an easy read. It's fun. But I feel like it was very thoughtful, too.
Yeah.
The way that it was put together, it's like, oh, this is... Yeah, the storyline that they're setting up, so easy to follow. Like, you guys did a good job. You're not just arbitrarily, like, tossing people in here, tossing, like,
Yeah.
characters in. It's like, well done. It's not like, Jason versus Freddy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a
This
good way
could
to
have
put
been
it.
a mess.
It could, totally.
I like how they chose to root it in Judge Dredd's universe. So you have that base. Like so you if you've seen even in the movie like you saw Dredd, you know what Mega City 1 is like, and you kind of have an idea of that. And if you've even seen like some of the artwork from the books, but then within that you're like, okay, so then you can, because aliens and predators they can exist really in any universe, which is why they do things like this. Like there's been Alien versus Predator versus Terminator versus RoboCop before.
Oh, no
And yeah, that's the thing. So all these things are like fucking combined into one.
What a
But
mess.
I appreciate the versatility of both the Predator characters and the alien
because from different
characters.
planets, like they can be in like any Earth continuity you can apply them to.
Yeah,
which
and
is
I hadn't
great.
thought about it prior to this, about
Yeah.
how you could introduce them in a way that wouldn't be sloppy.
Yeah. So it's a Judge Dredd story with aliens and predators.
Also, the cover is really cool. I
Cover's
like the
awesome.
cover.
Yeah.
Judge
Yeah.
Dredd's face, and then it's got like in the reflection of his helmet, you can see the
Yeah.
predator and the alien.
Yeah, in the preview for
And
the next
then-
one, it's the alien.
Oh fuck.
And then
yeah.
I seen the preview for the. Is it in
I think it's
this?
the aliens, or is it the predator's mask in the next one?
Yeah, it's like the predator's. What the fuck's it at? No, it's the alien.
It's the alien, yeah.
It's like the alien in the reflection of Judge
On the side of
Dredd
its head.
fucking awesome.
and Predator in that. So that's sweet as fuck.
Yeah, that's
That's
That's a really cool
Yeah.
idea. That's
And
clever.
Anytime they add like a group of predators together and like you
Yep.
see all their different like,
Predator 2.
yeah, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Or predators,
Yeah,
which I
yeah,
liked
yeah.
actually. I thought it was
Yeah.
cool.
I didn't see it.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it was.
It's
It was
not
surprisingly
bad. It's
good.
not
yeah,
bad.
I was very surprised how good it was.
It's a
Yeah.
shame that like that happened like so much later, that in terms of the franchise years and
If that would've come out
Alien,
instead of
Predator
Alien
Aliens
versus-
movies,
yeah.
like were such garbage. You know,
Yeah.
like
I don't mind the second one as much.
I mean it's fair,
Yeah.
average.
Yeah.
I didn't see the second one. I did read what eventually became the first Aliens versus Predators movie. I don't know.
comics?
Not sure. No, the movie. I can't remember which of those words pluralized. Anyway, that grew like initially it was Sigourney Weaver in talks about doing another one, and then
Yeah.
they just shifted it toward,
Yeah.
Aliens and Predators.
I did at the beginning of the first AVP. I liked the story at the beginning because it shows like Wayland, like the actual Wayland, like the before
Yes.
all the Bishop models and stuff. Like the model
That was cool.
It's still what's his name?
Lance Henriksen. Is it Lance
Yeah,
Henriksen?
yeah, Slant.
Yeah. And yeah, it shows him like as the original, like the person that all the bishops are based off of, and like it shows kind of like the history of like how the predators would, I mean, you guys, I'm not gonna fucking re-edit the movie, but I like the beginning of it because there's a little bit of story there.
Beginning's good.
It kind of like gives us like this idea of like a universe happening around, aliens and predators and stuff.
But like what they were doing was dumb.
Oh, the rest of it is stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
It
real
didn't have like a
stupid.
point.
No,
like,
no,
exactly.
no.
Like the execution of the movie was dumb. Like
It was-
they put in a little bit of time to like world build,
Yeah,
but then
you built a cool world and then didn't do anything with it.
right, it was just stupid.
Yeah, it's like
You know?
okay, like so they're like sometimes the predators come here and they do this like ancient hunt and
Yeah.
stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and that's really fucking cool.
Ancient
but,
hunt.
But
Ah.
let's just have all of it be I don't know the all the action, like it's all action. The coolest part and later on in the movie is whenever or no, sorry, this is the second one. At some point you see Yautja Prime, and you see like one of the predators like at some kind of workstation or whatever, and he gets like an alert that one of the ship crashed from the first one. Remember, because it crashes
Oh.
From the first Predator? you mean?
because there's like a pred alien that comes out of at the end of the first one. The one predator had a face hugger on him, and
Oh,
it bursts
okay.
out of his chest. So it's like the
Oh,
badass like
shit.
hybrid thing, and that causes that ship to crash. And there's like a beacon that goes out. It shows their home planet, and someone like he's like, oh shit, better go help. So that's the one that comes, and that's cool too. It's like, oh, you get to see where they're from, like the actual predator planet. So and it's just like one of them. He's just like, okay, I can take care of this. Like it's never like we better like get like a bunch of predators. Like no,
Mass
just
the
the
army.
one.
You know what that's like? So Predator is like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like all the people that are trying to defend themselves. Like that's with the lions in South Africa. Like they finally got together because we're like the predators. Like the humans are like the predators who
Right.
like go on these hunts. And then the lions are like, wait a minute. Maybe we can fuck these motherfuckers up. Like, just wait till check out that white bitch right there with the blonde hair. She's gonna roll down the window. They're so predictable. They always do this. So just wait till they roll down the window, and then they're gonna try to talk to you. And when they try to talk to you, reach in and get that bitch, grab her, pull her out of that fucking car, and eat her. The dentist is gonna get her. The dentist will get us once in a while. But,
It's always a fucking dentist.
the fucking dentist.
Assholes. All right. Any other thoughts about this?
I wasn't impressed.
No.
Well, look, I love Judge Dredd. I'm not a big fan of Predator.
Really?
This was crossover porn, and
Yeah,
I
it's
respect
crossover
that.
porn.
I mean, this was like exactly what everyone wanted for the fans of these two, franchises, and that's cool. But I love Judge Dredd. Not a big fan of Predator, so, But that's okay.
I'm interested to see how Judge Dredd will deal with aliens.
I am too. And in that
with the
And in that
law.
respect,
Yeah.
I will read the second one.
Yeah.
In the
But
law.
Yeah.
we'll see. But for now, like just the opening one, I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah. So I'm interested to hear Dan's opinion on Snot Girl.
Oh
here.
my god.
You mean booger bitch?
Perfect. Dan, that is perfect.
Man, she'd be.
I'm waiting to say that for hours.
And I commend you for it. I think that is
Really good
incredibly
patience.
apropos.
Been holding it all night, sweating over there.
Yeah. He wrote it on his arm in Sharpie. Don't forget Booger Bitch. So Dan, what did you think of Snot Girl?
Wow.
I know what you thought of Snot Girl.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So it's not. I'm not the target audience for this book. I think that's part of the problem. You know, Brian Lee O'Malley wrote Scott Pilgrim, so
Yeah.
like I thought, oh wow, fuck yeah, like, he's back. You know, he's gonna do something cool. And I read this book, and like 4 pages in, I was disgusted with everybody in the book, with the dialogue, with the way it was structured, with everything, because I hate millennials.
Yeah, Dan and I had a
I
conversation.
really think like this book like illustrates like the worst of millennials.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this is this. If you aspire to be the worst millennial possible, this is what you could
That-
be.
yeah.
And this is what it was. And I read it, and like when I was reading it, I was disgusted. I hated every character.
You should tell us who wrote it and
Yeah,
who drew
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, Brian O'Malley, like
But did you draw it too?
no.
It's an Image
Leslie
comic.
Hung,
Okay.
which I will say her art's pretty cool.
I think the art's great.
I like the art.
Yeah, she's
I
talented.
like the art.
I like
Yeah.
the cover.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
she's pretty good. I'm not gonna bash.
do you
on
like the art because boobies? Greg, hey Greg, do you like the art because boobies? Or
Do I like the movies because of art?
I
That's the question. Now we're getting to the heart of it.
completely agree with Dan.
That's
Fair
true.
question.
Yeah, actually, you know what? But there's such thing as like badly drawn boobs, and these are they look pretty good. You know.
No, I mean the art in this book is really cool. Like it definitely like the colors too. Also, the colorist did a very good job. All of that is good. The story though, not for me.
It is so like
Not for me.
the main
it just-
character is so self-involved.
They're all
it's
deplorable
disgusting.
people. They're
Oh.
deplorable people. They're horrible.
Wait, wait.
They
And the
illustrate the
one
worst
non-deplorable person
of
gets
young
killed.
professionals.
Well,
Young professionals, this is the worst you could be. Like, and I hate.
I wouldn't
the,
call
like,
her a young professional by any means.
No,
She
she's a
is.
blogger.
She's a blogger.
No, that's not a.
That's not a professional.
Yeah, so that's not a like a
I
young professional
really-
is someone who works like behind a desk or something.
Wait a
She-
second. Let's give Dan a chance to give a brief.
I feel like that's like a legitimate young professional. This is the worst of.
Yeah, she's a bullshit person.
Yeah, like all these people are bullshit people.
Well, give us a quick synopsis.
Okay,
a
so
breakdown
she's
of-
like a fashion blogger. All right, so and she
That's not a
has
job.
horrible allergies. Okay, and that's why she's called Snot Girl, and it goes around with her interacting with other like social media people, and they have horrible discussions and horrible like text conversation, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, is this what we're like?
Everything is
amounted to?
incredibly superficial.
It's very superficial, and then by the end, she like goes to this bar, and it's like she went to a bar for the first time. I didn't really quite get that part. And she was given this like medicine
yeah.
that
For her
would help her
allergies.
allergies.
Yeah.
It was like some sort of like experimental trial, or like whatever. And she met this other person that she really liked, another like blogger type person.
Caroline.
And they go to this bar, and Snot Girl sees a guy she used to date, and he was like kissing some other blog person. So she got really upset, and she told Caroline, I need to go to the bathroom. And she went to the bathroom, and she was like having an allergy attack, and she took her pills, and she spilled the pills on the floor, the pills were like marbles, I guess. And then that Caroline person came in, and she tripped on the marble pills and hit her head and died.
I took a different Wait. I had a different reaction from that. I thought because of the pills, which were, keep in mind, she has a new doctor who she's never seen before,
She liked.
doing like an experimental drug on her. I thought that maybe she had blacked out and done something to Caroline.
You know,
we all had that first impression.
Yeah, I initially
That
thought
was my
that
first
too.
impression.
Me and Jared had a long
she
talk about this one.
She specifically says the pills are round. Why
Yeah,
are they round?
and if you look in one of the panels,
yeah.
her foot's on
she's
it.
Okay,
stepping
fair
on
enough,
two
yeah.
of them
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah,
Like her foot actually is not touching the ground in this panel here. on
Oh,
the bottom.
that's right. That's right.
definitely
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
so
on the pills.
I'm pretty sure she slipped.
That's
Yeah,
just
she's
it's
Yeah.
poorly done
And by
because
the way-
it's very unclear what happened.
I'm glad that you
Everything's
guys
dumb.
pointed that out
Like,
because I
pills are not
honestly thought that she had
fucking
blacked
round
out
like that.
because of the pills.
Yeah,
And you're not gonna
Yeah.
trip on a pill.
Jacked.
Yeah.
I didn't really
And
think
killed
about
her.
that. Yeah, they're not like marbles. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
kind of fucking.
You know
dumb.
what kills me is
Yeah.
that Caroline's the only likable character.
Well, here's what I like about this, and actually, I kind of like this book. I didn't dislike it.
They
Especially
want you to hate these characters. For
They
a
want
reason.
you to
do.
hate the characters.
I
Like
hate the
I
characters.
definitely hate them, but that means they're doing. I think that means they're doing a good job writing. Like it's, I hate the characters, but I know because I know people like this, and because I know people like this is actually written really well. Because
It's
it
written,
reminds
right.
me of people that I've talked to. I'm like,
Oh,
holy
yeah, for
shit,
sure.
I hate you, man, I hate you. But yeah, they're because there are people whose their fucking profession is to do something like fashion blogging. Which I mean, if you do that, all right, whatever. But like, literally, her. So Lottie is the main character. She's like deeply insecure. Like she is incredibly insecure. So she's just trying to be this facade that she's created, like this fashion blogger facade. So as soon as she meets Caroline, she's like, oh my god, this girl is so cool and so pretty, and I want her to be my friend. And she doesn't want to be her friend because like she actually likes her. She's like, she thinks she's pretty and that she
Yeah.
said some cool shit. Like she wasn't like, oh, I really like her as a person. She was like, no, she's like, in fact, she says we look so good together.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they.
Oh,
yeah.
that annoys
that
me.
has
And
to.
the
So-
only reason she gets angry about her ex being with someone else is because she's the girl that her ex is with is not as pretty as her.
Well, she was actually relieved that she's not as pretty, like initially.
But she's upset
But
that
she's still upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her feelings are still hurt.
damn it.
Like her only solace was like, oh, at least I'm prettier. Like that gave her comfort. Not that like she, I don't know, she got over him, but she's like, oh, well, at least I'm prettier than she is.
But she doesn't even entirely believe that she's pretty.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
She feels disgusting and ugly, and
She's a snot girl.
Well,
she
she-
has the snot coming out of her nose, and her eyes are always tearing up.
Well, she says, I gave everyone a nickname except myself. And she says, what would mine even be? I don't know. And then it's a picture of her, and
Caroline's
she
the
has Hot
one-
Girl
yeah.
written. No, a picture of her. The picture of her, it's like a Polaroid. It says Hot Girl underneath it because she gave everyone else's names like Cute Girl, Trash Boy, Goth Girl, Norm Girl, Shoe Girl, Scandal Girl, or whatever. But hers, under her picture, she has Hot Girl on, but she has it crossed off.
Yeah.
So she was like, at some point she's like, oh, maybe I could be Hot Girl, but she's like, no, I can't do that to myself. So she's like deeply, insanely
Very
insecure.
much so. And like 'cause she fucking her nose is like a fountain.
Well, that's her thing. Like that's
Yeah,
that's her
like-
trigger is like
right.
the fact that she has her nose is always running, and so she doesn't think anything of herself because she's crazy. No, okay, not crazy. That's not good.
She's not crazy.
She has a very like a personality disorder.
She's insecure.
yeah,
like you said,
absolutely.
She's
very,
incredibly
very
histrionic.
Yeah.
I mean, like she might have low self-esteem, but histrionic is different. She wants attention.
Yeah.
No, I totally see what the author's doing here.
Yeah. I think it's a really good job, and the fact that like this ending here, this is awesome. Whenever she slips into his head, and
But
we were Jared and I were saying like
you
maybe.
slip on pills.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I don't know.
It
Like,
could take
she's
a
wearing-
crazy
she's-
turn in the next issue, though.
Yeah, like the fact
Like
that
she could go to jail for like being a murder
Yeah,
pinned
like
on her, and
wearing-
you're
Yeah.
supposed to hate her, and then you get to see all this horrible shit happen to her in like
Yeah.
the coming issues.
Right.
Yeah.
It could get really interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what happens because I want to know if she's if people are gonna think she murdered her or if maybe she actually did maybe she thought that she convinced herself that she slipped but she actually murdered her like we thought initially. Like I'm interested to see what happens.
I
definitely
didn't like
did not
this
murder.
like actually until I started thinking more about this book right as you started talking, and that whole the scene with the Caroline with her head smashed on the floor. I didn't like it initially, but you're right. The reason that I didn't like it wasn't because it was shitty writing. It was because
Right.
I felt like it was putting on, it was just displaying the worst qualities that young people, you know, millennials or whatever, if you were born like from 1980, 1981, 82, like through the whatever, the early 90s.
Yeah.
These qualities that people have.
BRB.
Yeah, it sucks, man, and it's fucking gross, and you know, me being a single, you know, somewhat recently single person in the world, and like interacting with like new people, like, okay, like maybe we'll like go on a date or be hanging out, and they you know, and in this, like, I have to say, like, all of the attributes that she has, or not all of them, but these ones in particular are some of the most repulsive qualities that someone could have. Just
Deplorable.
superficial, base, like being so much involved with appearance and facades, judging people, making decisions about people based on all of these qualities, and then being tied and just stuck to your phone.
Yeah.
Like getting
These
little
people suck.
yeah, just getting these little chemical dumps these from getting a like on your Instagram post or getting a like on your Facebook post, and your posts aren't like a fun post about something. It's a selfie post, or
Yeah.
it's a post with you in a fucking car, like dancing, making like faces, or it's a post of like you being like,
Can I stop,
oh,
stop you right there?
sorry,
We just posted like 3 pictures on Instagram of us in the car dancing.
You
yeah,
totally
but
did.
that's different because we were
'Cause we were men.
You're a man turning 30.
But it was they were I because I like post like that. If somebody was like taking an adventure trip of them and like drinking whiskey for breakfast in the car, like that's like a context. We weren't making kissy faces. We weren't trying to.
Okay, yeah, you're
it
right.
wasn't. When people clicked on that to like it, I didn't feel like it was like, oh man, I'm so attractive.
Yeah, that's
we're very attractive people. You know, it was sort of like, you're part of this adventure. We're having an adventure and we're celebrating. We're having like a celebratory adventure, and you get a peek into it. This is our podcast. Here's what we're doing today. Check it out. You know, and so it felt good on that level. It wasn't this. We didn't have nice outfits on and say like, having a rough day, or like, you know, our gene game's on fleek, you know, like something.
Oh, whoa.
Picture of chances. I
Lake.
love my nails today.
Yeah, right, dude, right.
So, do you want to know why I really don't like Snot Girl?
What?
And I'm really biased. So, at the end, keep in mind this is for issue 1. There's Dear Snot Girl. And it's Brian Lee O'Malley, writing to himself about his problems with allergies.
Is it?
It must be so hard to have allergies.
Is it? Do you think it's meta though? Like, is it him like acting like she acts?
No.
Because there's no.
This is him
Right.
having allergies and getting shots once in a while for
Right.
them.
Well, no, I'm saying because there's no, like it's the first issue. There's no reader mail. Yet.
Exactly. So
like, he might just be like mocking.
No.
what he's-
This is like
I
this
didn't
is
read it.
him actually going like the reason why he came up with Snot Girl, and this is at the end, is because he has horrible allergies and he has to go through the horrible pain of getting allergy shots.
Is it like? Is he seriously talking about how?
Yes,
she
he is. Fuck him.
Scott
way.
Pilgrim though. Scott Pilgrim, I feel like was you know,
I'm biased.
was
I'm sorry.
self-aware. It was kind of self-aware,
That's my
like dealing
point.
with this and so, like I said, coming into this, I didn't think I'd like it, but having this be so on point and so well done that maybe this first issue is like, it's not going to be a story about this girl's trials and tribulations as a attractive fashion blogger who's completely like just kind of base and
Yeah.
superficial. It's going to be, here, this is how awful this person is. Oh, now she
She's
maybe
gonna
killed
wake up,
somebody,
yeah.
a friend died, something.
That's
this
what I'm
girl should-
hoping,
And now it's
honestly.
like, fuck. Let's talk about these issues, these
Yeah.
things that all of us, to some degree, you know, more or less experience. You know, feelings of insecurity or
Yeah.
feelings of being
Well, it could be
superficial or
also that
being-
she breaks free of that mold.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying like this being the catalyst.
I might read issue 2 to see if she does that.
I will read issue 2 for sure because I want to see if it goes in that direction. This book could be really fucking cool because Scott Pilgrim was really fucking cool in that same way, using these like crazy situations.
Oh yeah,
these super extraordinary situations to talk about like very fundamental or common themes.
In Scott Pilgrim, a lot of those characters are also like fucking horrible. Like,
yeah,
I hate a lot of those characters in that book. And you're like,
Yeah.
wow, I want to punch you in the fucking face.
You're supposed to hate them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're supposed to hate her. I'm pretty sure.
That's what Brian Lee O'Malley I think does. What the
She's good at making you hate people. It's
very well.
Well
but
done.
it's like those characters were, if you could take, your ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, who's like the worst, and make him a superhero whose like powers are being the worst asshole ever.
Right.
And so just this like a caricature of some like just real qualities.
Right.
Like accessible qualities that but are awful and taken to, the exponential, the nth degree.
yeah.
I think it's a rare case when there's a story in any medium that starts off where the main character is someone that you find deplorable, but you said like the Snot girl, you want to punch her in the face.
You want to punch her? I don't hit women, Greg.
Oh, well, fair enough. But, so like of the three Steven Spielberg like World War II movies, the first one was Empire of the Sun.
Yeah.
And Christian Bale's character, the little 13-year-old piece of shit that he was.
Yeah.
He deserved an ass kicking for sure.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that by the end of that movie, he became. I don't want to say he became a different person because I hate when people say that. No, it's stop saying that. But he it's like I don't know, like developed in such a way that by the end of it, it becomes more profound because he didn't start off being cool,
Right.
and then ended up even cooler. He started off being a piece of shit, and somehow like the events were strong enough to shape him. So anyway, I'm already giving credit where it's not yet due to Snot Girl, but the potential's there for. This is like that first chapter of anything like that. No thanks. Where I leave the possibility that it could hopefully turn into something like that. It's a leap of faith for them to hope that people latch on after one issue. But hey, maybe that's what the death of a friend is going to be like, however far-fetched that death itself was. I'm giving a huge benefit of the doubt here, Dan. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read another. It's not for me.
I think that like the more I think about it, her character like he really nails that kind of person because like I said I know some people like that.
He does.
And he nails it, and the writing that is really good because these are the kind of people who I don't know, they're more concerned about all this really stupid shit than they are about how like what kind of people they are.
Right.
And I know people like that.
No concern about
Like it's like how do I deal with stress? How do I deal with disappointment? How do I deal with sadness? How do I deal with like existential crises? How do I deal with all these things? Those are the questions you ask yourself to become like a person who can deal with shit well. But like these people are like so afraid of like subconsciously afraid of all those things I just said that they don't deal with them at all, and so
Right.
they just like delude their brains with all the bullshit. Like, how many fucking Facebook likes do I have? This selfie, I didn't take a selfie today.
What
'Cause, like,
Pokemon level am I?
hey, shut up.
63, bud. 63.
That's not funny. That's not funny.
But that was funny. That was a jab.
That's not funny.
It's different.
Is Snot Girl in any way related to Booger Man?
If Boogerman showed up in this, I would
No.
pee in my pants immediately. Enjoy. I would joyfully pee in my pants. I'd be so, like,
Daniel,
so happy.
those adventures, maybe those look how cute I looked at it. Maybe they just want to bring you into their cute fun day. That much like you want to bring people along on the road trip adventures. They just want to invite people into their into their funness.
Right.
Yeah.
Because most of my days I would probably they would probably fall under one of the either cute or fun, but mostly cute and fun. I mostly have cute fun days, and everybody I know mostly has cute fun days too. So it's very common for people to just have entirely cute fun days.
Yeah.
So if you're not having a cute fun day and you feel ugly, you're a loser because all your friends are.
Of course.
All right.
You also go
had
to
Uh-oh, here we go.
Wait, enough is not, girl.
go to the next.
I have.
Some of us have had more than others.
Mechanism.
Yes.
Greg.
Becky was looking at it.
Old Greg. Greg, if you want to take the reins, fire it up.
Yeah, sure. I'll start it off, and then we'll all talk about it. Mechanism is from Top Cow. What? That's hilarious.
I'm not sure what we're, I'm not sure
Top
what we're
Cow
laughing
image.
at.
So, like the format of the podcast. You
Yeah,
talk
you
about
just-
it, and we all.
You just explain what we do every
So
single
all the-
time.
I didn't think about that, guys.
Sorry, Greg. I was-
That's all right. Yeah, well, I appreciate you all too. Anyway.
So anyway, sorry, Greg, continue. It's
Yeah,
from Top Cow.
Mechanism. We have both Image and Top Cow Productions Inc. to thank for this, namely Raphael Ienko.
Ienko. I hope he's.
Hello,
That's a
my
fun-
name is Raphael Ienko.
Oh, he
You killed
did
my father.
everything, too.
Prepare to die.
Oh wow.
Just like the motherfucker did She-Wolf.
Anyway, so he's the artist and letterer. So he's
Writer.
The rightist.
sorry.
The rightist Arter.
I just had a head thing happen to me a minute ago. So he's a writer, artist, and letterer. And in
Greg's
case
very empathic, Becky.
and in case you didn't already know, Mechanism created by Raphael Ienko. You had to say that again on there. On the
It's a fun
inside.
name to say.
It is a really fun name to say.
Raphael Ienko.
Anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool.
killed my
I have
father.
good things and I have positive things and at least one negative thing to say about it. But I've got to say, like first couple of panels, first page, no words. You just see a couple of action things happening. Rain looks great. There's this like ocean-ish scene. Some looks like a spaceship spitting out little like tree trunks or something. And then you realize, oh, they're like kind of humanoid-looking things, and they splash into the water. There's lightning and thunder. Anyway, you come to find out that these are aliens or something, presumably, and that's like a spaceship, I guess, that's pooping them out. And they call them geckos.
Gecko.
Yeah. So even like it shows them swimming underwater. It's got like cool colors and stuff.
Yeah,
so
they're real
The
amphibious
coloring
kind
is
of.
amazing.
yeah, so like all the I mean, thank you, Raphael Ienko, for all of this. But yeah, I mean, you get the impression that it's like some near future kind of thing. I'm thinking like I know we reference Blade Runner a lot, but it's like that like not too distant future kind of thing. The cities are kind of deserted, but the so everything's great. I kind of like the interaction with the characters and everything, and there's a little bit of a flashback thing. But actually, I mentioned Blade Runner. I think this is kind of accidental because there's a robot. I can't even really call him a character, but a figure that's in there. So the flashbacks are like the creation of this figure that is now in this present scene. My one criticism that I have with it is that this thing is way, way short. For a single issue, there's not really any kind of an arc that happens too much in this. I guess it's the introduction to at least one or two main characters. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. If I had other issues right in front of me, I would read them without complaint. I just complaining about not having them in front of me right now because
Yeah.
I'm
They don't give you much in that first one.
Yeah, there's not
Yeah.
much.
No.
I
I mean, the mechanism, like the titular character, does not act at the end, and that's sort of like the mystery. Like,
yeah. Well,
Why?
it says it will take information in until it is ready, and then it will act.
right?
And then something badass will happen.
Right. Well, on the front, I think this is the same little situation as this issue of Black Hammer, where the front of the cover gives you a little bit more than the actual issue does, because
Yeah.
that's
It
the thing we're
definitely
talking
does.
about, and it's leading an army of the mechs that they were talking about in there. So I'm guessing that this thing does not react the way that they are hoping it will
Yeah.
react.
Yeah, they
It looks
thought
like it's
that.
like a robot revolution. So the first problem was these gecko things, and I'm assuming that the next problem is going to be this thing is like, yeah, those geckos are a problem, but guess what? I don't work for you.
Yeah. Humanity's gonna
me.
be fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, because the guy his creator or whatever is talking to it whenever he's putting the consciousness into the mechanism, into the body. He says I had to limit the intelligence that went in there because he thought it was becoming less human as opposed to like more. He limited the AI because he thought it was like, I'm not sure. He was afraid of it.
It was a very specific component of the AI.
Yeah.
And I forget what it was. I don't know if it was emotional intelligence or if it was, well, you think that would make it more human. It
Right.
was some component, and Greg, maybe you could find it in there where
looking
the
for it right
scientist
now.
is having a conversation as he's,
Here,
it's
here,
almost
I
like
know
he's
where it
doing
is.
surgery.
It was definitely the opposite of what we're used to, in terms of like,
Yeah, usually the scientist is like,
Creating-
I'm going to put all the things I can
Yeah,
inside there, but this
and
guy's like, I need to like,
I'm gonna like tone it back because I don't want it to be like that.
yeah.
And because I think he was being forced to by the higher ups too, because he's got to get this fucking product to market.
Yeah, well, he says, your intellect has been diminished, yes, but I'm positive this new aspect of you can be a turning point for our struggle. He said, during all our talks, it wasn't that I was afraid you were becoming more human. I was afraid you were becoming less. So he limited the intelligence of this thing because people have limits, and he's erected barriers in its mind for certain things.
So maybe it was sort of that like rational or logical component where being able to look at a situation and make what would be mathematically or logically the best decision. So say
Right.
there's a hostage situation. He's holding one person at gunpoint to their head.
Yeah.
Like
Killing both
but he's
people.
able to see or use all of his information to make a quick mathematical calculation based on historical data that by killing both of them he'll save
Everybody else.
Historically he'll be able to save this many more lives, but
Right.
so undervaluing human life
Yeah.
as a means to make the most I wouldn't say the best decision, but best decision based on
To be statistically effective.
The most
Yeah.
statistically effective decision.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
coloring. No, the coloring was beautiful.
Yeah, this...
Look at that.
Oh, the thing I wanted to say in response to, I think it was Jer, you said, or maybe it was Greg, I forget. But one of you guys said the arc, it was really small. You said that.
Yeah, he said that.
And I think what it's doing, I felt like, yeah, you didn't get much of either one of the presumably, couple main characters or three main characters, the scientist and then the two cops. But I feel like what you did get was the arc that is AI. Like what sentience, what's that whenever the computers become sentient, it's called the
Self-aware.
No, it's called the
oh fucking hell,
the singularity.
The singularity.
Oh.
Yeah.
God damn it, I don't know how I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the singularity, and that's definitely where they're going with this.
Yeah.
And I think it's a cool idea. I'm really interested in the singularity and how all of these different ideas that people have about what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Because we can't fathom. The only reality we can fathom is a reality that has the component pieces of our current reality. And once this happens, we really don't have any of the tools or any of the comparisons to project what that reality will look like.
Right.
Sort of thinking about, like what Da Vinci thought, like a submarine or a flying machine.
Yeah.
Or you can just
And it's
take,
like, that's close, but not quite.
like yeah, it's definitely gonna have wings.
Yeah.
It'll
Like, that
have
may have
wings.
worked, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a super interesting.
Yeah,
concept,
and it actually,
idea.
speaking on the art, it actually looks like. Has anybody played any of the Telltale games?
Yeah.
The computer games.
Does it look like
It
that?
looks. I think a lot of the art inside looks like. Yeah, but can you? It looks like maybe like The Walking Dead or any of those games. It's a very similar art style. Specifically, The Walking Dead. It looks a lot.
You're
like
right, it does.
The faces look
I didn't
exactly
really even
like
notice that. It does look like
Oh,
that.
let me
Yeah.
take a look.
What?
It's a little bit better
What's
than
the,
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's got like some more
The
like,
Telltale
shading
games
to it,
are
and detail and lighting and shit.
they're
But
almost. It's almost like a choose your own adventure kind of like, but for the computer.
I
or
can't
for-
remember
for
what those
video
are
games.
called.
What's the format?
I forget what they're called. So it'll show you like a cutscene, and then
But it's
something will
PC.
happen. Yeah. But it's all for other systems too.
They
Like-
have them on like regular.
yeah, other systems
yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
so it show you like a basically a cutscene.
It's like a click and point. Is I think
point and
it's
click.
called?
Yeah, it's a point and click. game, Yeah. So you can.
Yeah.
You can like walk your character around, but most of the time you're making decisions. Like depending on what your decisions are, the game will play out differently.
Yeah.
So it's a choose your own adventure, pretty much. But the art in those games looks a lot like the art in this book. Especially the eyes. The eyes on this almost look like they could be moving as like
Yeah.
like a
In the AI.
yeah. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really interesting.
I liked
and
it too.
yeah.
I want to see where it goes.
I will say that from this issue number 1, they don't show you much of it, but they do show you that in the future, don't be surprised if you see some pretty gruesome deaths because
Yeah.
they show 1 or 2 in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it got brutal towards the end.
Yeah.
I wanted a little bit more. Like when I was done, I felt like I slogged through a lot of dialogue,
Yeah.
a lot of dialogue in the middle between like the two police officers.
Yeah,
or whatever
the
we're calling
cops.
them.
Like, there's some stuff in there that probably wasn't necessary. That
Yeah.
wasn't helping to establish the world, or really other one. Maybe 2 of those characters, but depending on what, well, I'm not sure exactly what happens to the one at the end of this. But like, you really didn't need to develop her as much
Yeah.
as you did if she's dead. So
Right. Yeah, that's how I felt too. Like I wanted more on the world itself. Like
yeah,
maybe like I don't know. I guess maybe I'm spoiled like now because certain books are like double size first issues.
yeah, and
like Weird
yeah,
Detective, like it gave us so much to really fucking lay it out.
yeah,
And like this, like really could have benefited from a couple more pages,
maybe.
maybe a little bit more narrative on the world rather than the dialogue
Yeah.
between the two officers.
Yeah, we've done since we've been doing number 1s recently. We've gotten a few really really good ones, and then you
Yeah.
start getting spoiled on that. So like, I think like something like this is totally fine.
Oh, it's good. It's
And
fun.
good, yeah, but
I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah,
but
I think you're right though. We are maybe a little spoiled with some
Yeah.
of the other things we've done, like Four Kids Walked in the Bank. Like,
Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah, it's so great.
I mean,
Yeah.
like that isn't even like an oversized issue, but it just had so many little panels.
Oh yeah, so much of stuff
So
is
just,
inside.
you get so much more story
Yeah.
out of something like that.
Yeah. So if you're a publisher and you're listening, pack us up with some story in the first issue. Really grab us, because in a lot of cases, like if you don't grab us, we're not reading the next one. So you have one issue to. I'm sure they know that. I don't know. I'm preaching to the choir.
I
Yeah,
hope
I hope.
that they're ready. Like
Rich
I hope the
Tommaso.
author, he has. I hope this author has.
My
everything
brain isn't
ready,
working,
'cause,
and I know
like,
to insult
to
him.
do the art and the script and the text. Like
He's a talented guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
definitely has-
writer, like he. That's a lot of work. you know,
Yeah.
like, I hope this book doesn't fall behind schedule and just get lost in the shuffle of.
Do you
a
think it
billion books
would?
that come
Yeah. I mean.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
like I've seen
Yeah,
that,
I think
like so many times. Like
What
books,
mechanism?
like
No, like books that the writer is the artist and it just falls behind schedule.
Yeah.
Like,
Or even if it's more than one person, that can happen. Like for example, Karnak.
yeah.
We had a different writer on like what the
Artist,
second
artist.
or that different artist in the second issue.
Yeah.
Halfway through, you can
Yeah,
tell.
halfway
you
through,
can
you can
difference.
totally tell. Like you're reading it in the middle of the book, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I imagine things like this where it's one person doing it. He would have had to have. They have to have some backed up, like ready to go, like.
You would hope, but
like
it
most of them are.
doesn't- you'd be surprised it doesn't always work out that way.
Maybe, yeah.
Like I hope so because it's a good start.
Yeah.
It's a fair start. And let's see some more.
Yeah.
It seems to well, I mean, I guess part of me just has an expectation, suspicion, inclination to believe that if it's one guy who's doing all of these elements, that there's a vision that he definitely has behind it, and that there's probably some depth. Otherwise, he wouldn't be putting that much effort into a project.
Yeah.
Would you say that's ordinarily the case? Like where it's a one-man show, that those usually have more substance to them, or often do at least.
They do, and they don't.
No.
It totally depends. Like I've seen things totally fall behind and just like for example, what's coming to mind, JLA, like DC, Brian Hitch. He was drawing and writing, and the first 5 issues or 4 issues, whatever, were really good. And then they needed to take a Martian Manhunter book and insert it into that series because he wasn't ready to do the next issue. And then after that, he put another one out. And then after that, he fell behind so bad that the book got pushed like 5 months later.
Ooh.
You know, because... And it's hard. Like, I'm not saying, like, shame on you. I mean, I'm sure it's very hard to draw and write a book. Like, that's a lot of work. It's a big workload. You know?
Especially something like this. Like this,
Yeah.
this is intricate. Like it's
Right.
really, really good art.
Yeah.
That's why I think, like, what you said earlier, like, you have it all already done
Yeah.
before you go into releasing it.
I would
I
hope
think
so.
that's the way to do it if you're going to be the chief commander of all of it. You know, you have to make sure it's all done. It's all laid out.
Yeah.
So you
How
don't
do you
fall behind.
get this texture in a book, though?
I'm guessing-
like with these color. I mean,
I'm guessing that's a computer. Because
Yeah,
you can
so
illustrate
well
via computer.
done.
Yeah.
so animated and then like animated by hand and then put into the computer
I
to
would
do the
f-
ink.
I would think so. Well, they have. I mean,
No.
they have screens.
No, they have a
You draw-
colorist.
You
They
can
draw
draw
on computers
on.
Just
Yeah.
draw right on the.
Most do.
Yeah.
Not all, but most do.
I mean, they have an
Yeah,
artist and then a colorist, right? I mean, and I
Yeah.
think the colorist was the
Yeah.
star here.
Yeah. What?
Is
like,
that a separate colorist?
YouTube, like how it's
No, I think
created,
that's
Dan,
him.
and you'll see like how like crazy it is, like how they do it on a computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says Trisha Ramos production. So perhaps.
I don't know.
That. Perhaps production means that.
Yeah. So probably like the overseer
Yeah.
of the whole operation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I can feel it. I can feel it, and I'm kind of
can
hearing it
feel
from
it
all of us in the last
coming in
hour.
the
I knew that we needed a break for some Genesis. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you for
That's,
that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
no, we had a couple pretty intense experiences in the last hour.
Wow.
What the fuck is going on?
Has definitely affected the energy. Like I can feel it. Like
In the air tonight.
I can feel it in the air tonight. I can feel it just in this room. That one thing happened that was really intense, and then about 20 minutes later, we were almost in a violent physical altercation.
Yeah.
With a couple guys in front of the comic book shop, and we came in here, and if you've been,
nothing was gonna happen.
huh?
Nothing was gonna.
No, there's way more of us than that.
No, yeah.
Nothing was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay. For
Deep
reference,
down,
if anybody's
Dan's a big
listening and
suck.
frequents the shop, not to fuck up Dan's deal. It's about 2:00 in the morning. The bar is just let
Right.
out on South
It's
Side.
just some barfing
People.
was going on. It's right on the stoop. And
Right. And when they were asked to leave, they got pretty. Things got excited.
Confrontational.
Things got excited. They were confrontational.
Yeah.
But then we came in here, and if you've been listening to this podcast for the last 12 minutes, you'll notice that we've been a little bit fucking weird. We haven't.
We're weird.
No, I mean we've been weird in a different way. We haven't
like
been
that
weird in
you're
our
the one who
normal
asks
kind
that
of
and
weird
not
way.
me.
Yeah.
Because I mean I felt it. Presumably Dan felt it. We definitely had some chemical dump of like these
Emotion.
brain chemicals that prepare you to fucking fight or run. You know,
Fight
all
or
these
flight.
catecholamines, yeah, or freeze. And
See, I didn't get that like I might be fighting soon rush at all. I
didn't get-
that.
I didn't get the.
No, I was just like move along. That's all. That's what I was trying to convey, and I might have conveyed it the wrong way with a joke. I might have opened wrong. Like if I was a comic, like yeah, you didn't open your set right. But I feel like the one guy understood what I was saying, but
Yeah,
the other
that-
guy,
yeah, the other guy got really
upset.
Yeah.
We're cool.
But now we
though.
came back in and started trying to talk about mechanism, and it has a different feeling.
We did okay. I mean,
I thought it was fine. Yeah.
No, we did fine. But I just wanted to address that.
Yeah.
This-
Yeah.
this
Yeah. So
thing-
yeah. If you thought the tone changed, that's why.
Yes, there's a difference in tone.
Yeah.
And
That's partly my fault.
And I I feel really bad for Jared because he has to
No,
edit
it's-
all this shit. And
Ah,
it's
you-
gonna
Jared
be-
has
You
his-
fucking guys.
God damn it,
It's
Jared.
gonna
You
be
know,
a tough
fucking
job.
hell.
Yeah.
One,
Really
you are
bad.
wearing the most awesome cowboy boots ever. And two,
Thanks.
last episode you said the funniest fucking thing that has ever been uttered in this podcast. Ever. And that was
But
the-
it won't be repeated.
I'm a girl and I should be allowed to repeat it. You're fucking adorable and you just don't want to admit it.
well,
I
refuse to argue that.
I already got.
But you know what sucks? Is that he
Adorable.
controls everything and he's going to edit me out.
I already got yelled at for blowing up a spot before, so I'm not.
Yeah.
You
We're not
can't
gonna
be
do
saying
it
shit
again.
like that.
So here's the theme music.
Human